Come here. Maestro, hit it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please for our next facts guest. Something wicker is coming this way. She's one of the strongest women in television history. She can wipe you out with only her eyes. She is the one who has shown you the incredible power of three. Ladies and gentlemen, give a rousing welcome to the magical, the stunning, the kick-ass charm sister, Shannen Doherty.
Shannen, welcome to Belgium.
Thank
Is it
you.
your first time?
It is not. No, I was here like a really long time ago, and I filled up on all the wonderful chocolates
Good memories, I hope.
and waffles and French fries.
What about the beers? You're famous for beers.
I know you are. You know what? I haven't had a lot of the beer yet. I'm not a beer drinker.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We'll substitute the beer with more chocolates then.
Perfect. Yes.
All right. So this is how it's going to go. I have two microphones in the middle, and I'll ask people to line up, and they can ask to their heart's content. Is that okay with you?
It sure sounds fun to me.
So if you have any questions, get in line. The microphones are right over here. But before we do that, I would like to get the first question in myself. At what age did you get into acting? When did you decide I want to be an actor?
I was, well, I first started when I was 10 years old. My first actual professional job was when I was 10. But I think I kind of fell in love with it when I was around 8 years old, just watching my brother who was doing plays, and anything that my brother did I wanted to do, so I kind of followed his lead and started doing it, but then I really fell in love with it, you know, just sort of playing a different character, being somebody other than myself.
And your first part, do you remember how you got that?
Just an audition, you know, like me auditioning along with hundreds of other girls. I think it was for a Pacific Bell commercial, which was a utility company, and all I did was sleep. Like, that was my part. I was just the sleeping girl.
And you had to audition for that?
Yeah.
But you got the part.
I did. I guess I sleep well.
Okay. What was your first big
I mean, I think they're all big, right? Because, like, for instance, that got me, you know, into the union for some strange reason, which then made it easier for me to get more jobs. So, Secret of Nim was an animated movie that I did that was really big for me at the time. But then, obviously, Father Murphy was huge because from Father Murphy, Michael Landon put me on the office.
I see somebody eagerly waiting there already, so I suggest you open the Q&A. Go ahead.
First, my mother's a huge fan of yours.
Okay. I see you, baby.
And now the question. My mother wants to know what you stopped playing Prue in the series. Was it your choice or their choice?
Gosh, you know what? I probably in like 20 years I'll be answering that question. I'm not going to answer it quite yet because I really like to be diplomatic. But I'm pretty sure that when I'm, you know, a lot older, I won't care about being diplomatic anymore, and I'll, you know, be very forthcoming about all of this. But for now, I just, you know, want to keep things neutral in life.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi again.
Hi again.
Hi again.
Yes.
So let's talk about charm. What's your strongest souvenir about that TV show?
Are you asking actual physical souvenir or memory?
Memory.
Oh, okay. His strongest memory, I think, sort of how much I learned on the show in regards to like directing, for instance. Because I directed a bunch of episodes, and I guess I learned quite a bit. I learned a lot about working with actors and sort of managing also directing myself while directing the whole show. So that's probably one of the things that I remember the most is just, constant sort of learning experience for those 8 days that I filmed each one of those episodes.
And welcome in Belgium.
Thank you.
What is your favorite movie you played in and why?
I have too many favorites. It's really hard for me to say. I think, Mallrats is one of my favorites because the overall experience was fantastic. Kevin Smith and sort of Jason Mewes and Jason Lee, like Ben Affleck, I think everybody was so cool, and it was such a just overall very fun experience. But I've done movies that I reflect back on now, and I think, wow, that was kind of amazing just to be a part of it. It's so hard for me to choose one. I think like everything I've worked on has become my favorite, and I'm sure my next job will then become my favorite. Because hopefully, right, as people, we're constantly like learning and growing and evolving. So with every new experience, and work is a new experience, with every new experience, you're learning something new about yourself, and you're evolving as a person, as an actor.
Welcome to Melting too.
Thank you. Somebody brought me delicious chocolate, by the way. It was in I think it was in like the purple wrapping with the gold. And it was really good, so thank you. I just devoured like 8 pieces in a row, so.
I loved you in Heathers.
Thank you.
So my question is, if you had to play one of the other Heathers, would you rather play Chandler or McNamara?
Chandler. Yeah, it's really funny because I actually sort of got to choose. Like when I auditioned for it and met with them, then it was like, okay, well, which Heather would you want to play? And I was very much in a Heather Duke, just because I loved the transformation that she made, that she went from, yes, a Heather, but she was more sort of timid and got bossed around and bullied a little bit by Heather Chandler. So it was playing with somebody with a much more complex personality than just being one, mean, bitchy. But now I think if I had to play from Heather, it would definitely be Heather Chandler.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you for coming and meet your friends. You grew up in TV shows, and we grew up at the same time with you, so it's very moving for us to see you today.
Thank you.
And I was wondering if you were close to your first parents in our house, like Bono, and the other shows you did, if they gave you advances or something like that.
So in our house, I was really close with Wilford Brimley, who played my grandpa. We were very close, and yes, he did give me advice. I also would go to his ranch in Utah, and all the time and ride horses, and he and his friend actually were the ones who taught me how to ski for the first time. So I was really, really close with Wilford, and but I think after that, like once you start hitting 18 and up, I don't think that people who play your parents think that they can. They don't, it's not really their place to sort of become your parent. But But I did recently see James Eckhouse last week, who played obviously my dad on 90210. And it was lovely to sort of reconnect with him again and see him. But it definitely wasn't as, even back then he was never paternal with me. Like, for us, we're peers because we're both doing the same thing, we're both of a certain, position in the show. So it's never, nobody really ever parents you.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Hi.
Hi.
First of all, how are you?
Thank you for asking. I'm good. I'm a little jet lagged, just so you guys know. I got in yesterday late afternoon. So every single time you see me get up and disappear, I'm taking like 15-minute power naps, just to try to wake up a little bit. And I have like a cold. But other than that, I'm good. Thank you.
And do you have any acting tips for upcoming actors?
Do it for the right reasons. Don't do it because you think you're going to get famous. Don't do it because you think you're going to make a lot of money. Like, those are definitely not the reasons to become an actor, because so few actors actually achieve sort of star status. I know it seems like a lot because there's a lot of TV shows on, but not a lot actually do. I think, like, in our Screen Actors Guild, I think it's like, anywhere from 5 to 1% actually work, or like working actors. The rest of the time you're wondering when your next job is coming, like how you're going to pay the mortgage or the rent, fame is definitely not all it's cracked up to be. There are things that are great about it, and then there's a lot of drawbacks too. So if you're trying to become an actor, really explore within yourself the reasons why, and make sure that you're doing it for the right reasons, because it's a really tough business. So I think you have to be in it for all the right reasons and super dedicated.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, I have 2 questions for you from both of my parents.
You're only allowed one, sorry.
The first one is it was a shock that Luke Perry died for you and the rest of the cast?
Yeah, I mean, I can't go into Luke. But yes, I think it was shocking for everybody, right? I mean, I think to have someone pass away at that age is pretty shocking. And I had just seen him, so that was even more shocking. Second question.
My mother wanted to ask you if there's coming a second episode from 90210 or not.
I think that they're doing like a 6 episodes of a new version, but it's not like, it's 90210, but it's people playing themselves. So they're not playing like Brenda and Brandon, and they're playing sort of heightened versions of themselves. They're playing, Jimmy and Corey and I and Brian. But yes, so there is another 90210 coming out.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
Hi, Shannen.
Hi.
First of all, my condolences to all of you, because I know it was a huge, sad news for all of us. But the second of all is, I don't have a question for you actually, but I made a promise to my sister. She's a very huge fan of you. Her name is Hafida, and she's at home and babysitting my 3-year-old son. She gave me the opportunity to come here and enjoy a day, so I was very happy. And she told me, please say hi to her if you see her. And I told her, I'm not gonna see her. She's so famous. There will be a lot of people. I don't have an opportunity to talk to her. So by this, I just want to say hi to my sister. And can you please say her name?
Yes, how do you, Haflina?
Hafida.
Hafida.
Yes.
So thank you, Hafida, for letting your sister come.
Bye.
Sure.
Hi.
Hi.
I wanted to ask you, I heard in one of those conventions that you almost passed on Charm, and Holly kind of told you that it was a good script. I wanted to know how and when did you meet Holly? And also, I heard you're good friends with Sarah Michelle. Did you know her before Buffy, or while you were both working at the...
Okay, that's way too many questions. I'm cutting you off right now. Okay, so you know, the story of like Charmed always, like the show, it kind of grows and exaggerates and takes on its own. It becomes mythical of sort of what transpired. The script was in my car, and I had been offered it, and Aaron Spelling was asking me, you know, if I would do it. And at the time, I was not sure that I wanted to do another show. I wasn't sure I wanted to, you know, be on TV and work the hours. I was thinking maybe, because I've been Mallrats, I was thinking maybe I would stick with like film. And I had not gotten around to actually reading it. It was just sitting in my car, but it had only been like a couple of days. And Holly saw it in my car and said, "What's going on? I want to audition for that. It's really good." So based off of her sort of telling me that it was good, I read it. I accepted the part. So once I read it, I was like, "Yeah, I'll do this." And then Mr. Spelling obviously gave me the choice of which character to play, and I chose Prue because I just felt like she was the most sort of grounded one. She was the one that I connected with the most as far as how she loved her family and took care of her family, and family was everything to her. So, and as far as Sarah Michelle, we knew each other before Buffy, like, you know, just sort of, I'm not even sure how we originally met, but you know, it's not like we all film close to each other, especially when you do a Spelling show. He doesn't really ever film on like studio lots. He does these like weird warehouses, so you're never really social with a bunch of other people. So yeah, Sarah and I knew each other before, but I think it was sort of working together, working for the WB, running into each other at WB stuff, that our friendship sort of grew. And, you know, I mean, I think we both really related to each other because we run extremely similar shows in the sense of like the Supernatural on the same network, and we were both sort of the stars of our shows. So the, you know, the burden, the heavy lifting, the sense of responsibility was on the two of us. And I think that sort of bonded us from the beginning, and then we both sort of feel the same way about our families, and so she's a great girl.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
First of all, I hope you enjoy your stay in Belgium.
Thank you. If I don't enjoy it, what happens?
That's too bad. My husband and I went to America and we thought it was great. So,
where in America did you go?
West of America, LA, Vegas. We traveled a lot.
What was your favorite?
I think Monument Valley.
Where the hell was that?
I think it's in Utah.
See, I'm learning new things about my own country. Thank you.
I was wondering, what do you think is the greatest success in your career? Your greatest success so far?
I mean, my greatest success in my career. I don't know. I mean, God, that's an impossible question to answer, to be honest, because they stack. You know, they just like you do one. It's my success is an accumulation of all of them. So without one, that success would be very different. I don't know if the success would be less success than I have now, or perhaps it would have been more if I had chosen to not do, let's say, 90210. Like, what would happen if I had said no and stayed doing films? Like, who knows? So I don't think I have like one that I sort of look at and think, oh, that was my greatest achievement, my greatest success as an actor. Because I think that all of them built me and tore me down to the place that I'm at now. You know, there were a lot of mistakes in there, and there was a lot of very right choices that furthered my career.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is, in which movie? If you could play in any movie, which movie would it be, and which character of that movie?
Holy moly. My goodness, indie movie. I mean, God, that would be a toss-up between playing like a Captain Marvel character. It was great, right? I think something along that, and then I would probably also want to play something extremely serious. There was a movie called Requiem for a Dream years and years and years ago, and I thought that was amazing. Jennifer Connelly did an amazing job, and also there was a movie called Atonement. I don't know if anybody saw it. It was with Keira Knightley, and I think something like that. Which, interestingly enough, I think that was Joe Wright. So I think I would want to do action and then a really sort of dramatic piece. Those would be my two on my wish list.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
I'd like to ask you a question about Heathers. I wondered what it was like to do a movie like that in the 80s with the subjects of the movie, like teenage suicide, teenagers killing each other, schools blowing up. It seems, well, not something you find in the 80s. What it was like.
No, definitely not something that you would find in the 80s. Which is really interesting about Heathers, because was it sort of foreshadowing what was going to be happening now? I mean, you know, obviously we have a huge problem in the U.S. now with guns and guns in schools and mass shootings and bullying and suicide. And I guess now you would say, wow, Heathers was very much ahead of its time. I think for me, when I first said yes to it, I didn't think it was a comedy. I thought it was a drama. I didn't really understand what I was doing, apparently. And I sort of thought, wow, this is interesting. Like, we're tackling subjects that haven't even happened yet. You know, issues that haven't even happened yet for teenagers, but you could sort of see that someday it might. So I think Heathers is a really interesting. What's even more interesting than all of that is the fact that we then did a series recently of it that was on the Paramount Network, and they delayed the premiere of it by, I think, over like 4 to 6 months because of all the mass shootings. So the movie that was in the 80s could be seen by everybody, and there was, you know, and everybody's like, oh, that's a cult classic. But the series couldn't really be seen by everybody because it was too close to home. It was dealing with issues that we actually currently have, which is everything that Heathers is about. And again, back in the 80s, certainly didn't really realize it. But now I can say that I'm very proud that I was a part of it, and a part of the series as well.
It was a great movie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi. I'm the mom.
You're the mom. Hi, Mom.
I watched question. When I was younger and I went to one, when I was a teenager, I followed you afterwards in Charm. And my question was for you, which character did you like to play more, Brenda or Prue?
Probably Prue.
Why?
Because Prue was, I loved playing Brenda because there was a lot going on with Brenda. She had a lot of angst and a lot of trauma. She went from being, this sweet kid from Minnesota to like getting wrapped up into the whole Beverly Hills social scene and crowd and pressure, but she was still a good kid. But Prue was just a little bit more, she was serious, but she was also, she had a sense of humor, and she was badass. Let's face it, she kicked ass. So that was fun to play.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I want to speak about Little House, and the question is what playing in Little House brought to you? What did you learn about playing in Little House?
Well, I worked with the great Michael Landon, and so I learned everything I possibly could from him. I was a sponge. Basically, any words of wisdom he gave me, I just absorbed. And I just remember him always telling me that, that the business would be hard on somebody like me. That even at that age, he was like, you're smart and you're outspoken and you definitely have an opinion. He's like, and that's only going to grow more as you get older and more confident. He's like, and it's going to be hard for you. It's going to be a hard road, but just hang in there because, business needs more people like you. And what's really interesting is that then you flash forward to now, to today, what the world again is going through, and certainly my business is going through with sort of people getting fired left and right for, harassment and what was once labeled a bitch is now, that label doesn't even fit you anymore. Now it's like, oh, she was just a strong woman. So I think from him, I really learned to stay true to myself and to who I am. Sure.
Hi, it's been a long time, I know, and I can notice it because it was me growing up on the Beverly Hills. And my mom was watching it only because I was watching it.
That's awesome.
And she also didn't mind that it was in a language she didn't understand.
Well, I watched all sorts of things last night in a language that I didn't understand, so we're even now.
It would be actually quite nice, or actually also sad to have a kind of class reunion of Beverly Hills like we do with the class of my school. But you mentioned that that's not going to happen, so I'm not going to ask about that, but you played, so the series was, sorry.
I'm not saying that that's not happening,
you said that there will be some other people playing other characters, or?
No, they're playing themselves.
Oh.
That's what I said. So they're,
okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, so they're playing themselves. So it's more of that, they're playing like their actual selves, trying to get the cast together to do a reboot. So it's like a show within a show.
Okay, that sounds very interesting. I would like to ask because it was about relationships and rivalry. Was it only between the characters or also the actors?
Well, if it was between the actors, I wouldn't say anything because it's nobody's business. But nice try.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Come see me in 20 years when I put out a book. It'll all be in there. It won't. But yeah, so I'll just go with the whole 90210 thing and say that, yeah, the show's coming out at some point soon, and I have no idea if I'm going to do it or not. So I'm perplexed at the moment to if I should be a part of it or not. Nothing to do with the cast. I think that, you know, we all get along, and that's, you know, so it's just sort of what makes sense to me in my life and my choices right now. So we'll see. Hi.
I would like to tell that I really loved the movie No One Will Tell.
Oh, thank you.
And my question is, do you have new projects?
Well, I'm sort of sitting in the middle of figuring out if I'm going to do one right now. So once I make that decision, that's going to determine a lot of other things. I can tell you that I'm in the middle of projects that have nothing to do with acting that are equally, if not more important to me right now. So I think a lot of my focus has been on that, and it has much more to do with, you know, just sort of reaching people and helping people and knowing that there's so many that have questions or need like the right kind of support, and that's what I'm sort of working on, is to build a community for people like myself who, you know, face death and that wake up every single morning wondering, you know, is it going to come back, or if you still have it, you know, how it's going to wreck you that day. So those are, you know, I have other priorities now, and I love acting, but it's everything sort of, you know, when one goes up, the other one sort of stays. So it's a balance act right now, and I think for me, I feel like I'm something bigger than I'm supposed to do in this world at this moment. I'm just hoping that I'm on the right track with it.
And that subject is very great to see you so well and
thank you.
in good way.
Thank you. Hello.
Hey Shannen. So at the end of season 1 in Charms, the way Andy and Bruno had to break up the line, I thought it was unique and amazing by you.
Thank you.
So that's why the spell Accelerate Time is my favorite. My question is, what is your favorite spell in Charms?
Not the power of 3. That was not my favorite. We said it so many times that whenever we had to say it again, it was like, oh, you gotta be kidding. But at the same time, the other spells, like, I think, you know, sort of as the years went by, the spells would get a little bit more complicated, and I think you may have noticed that we also started holding little pieces of paper that had the spell written down on it. Like all of a sudden our characters couldn't remember a spell, we had to write the spell down. So I don't really have a favorite spell. I mean, I should have said the power of 3 because it's kind of the only one that I can remember. But I really don't like that spell.
Okay, thank you.
What was your favorite spell?
To accelerate time.
That's right, you said that. So how did that go?
Winds of time gather round, give me wings to speed my way, rush me on my journey forward, and tomorrow be today.
You're fired. I'm very impressed. You don't even have a little piece of paper. You have a wand. I mean, you can have my job. You're welcome.
Hi, Shannen.
Hi.
I'm Erica. I'm from Peru. I got a message this morning from my mom on Instagram, and she's in Peru. It was a picture of you, and she didn't know I was coming here, so just a few moments ago I sent her a video, and she's kind of freaking out right now over there. And so I wanted to say thank you, because we're from the Amazon in Peru, so I want to, in a way, share with you that you've touched so many people in a way from even remote places like my hometown. And my question is just a bit of an anecdote. That picture that she shared with me of you, it was about a certain incident that you had, and I was wondering if you already had your round of antibiotics to protect yourself.
Yes. I took one immediately, actually. It happened. I panicked. I yes, I'm very lucky because my doctor gives me, like, he prescribes a round of antibiotics for me just to travel with, just in case. And so I pump one instantly. And I'll be popping them every day. It's like 7 days, just to make sure. So yeah, tell your mom that I'm okay. I think, although somebody wrote on my Instagram, when I posted that, they said that the same thing happened to them, and 5 days later they got strep throat. So now I'm petrified that I'm going to get strep throat. So, and I keep coughing. I'm like, which I know is all in my head, but so yeah, I'll let you know. Like, if I start getting strep throat, I'm flying back there and I'm getting the person who spit in my mouth. I'm going to breathe all over them with strep throat.
Just a tiny wish if you could say hello to Annie and Olga in Peru, if you could.
Annie and Olga? Yes. Yes. Hi, Annie and Olga in Peru. By the way, I went to your country. It was on my list of countries to go to, and it was gorgeous. I love Peru.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I hope you get better.
I hope I stay well. Let's just go with that one.
I'm a huge fan of a challenge. Will you win the event of a challenge?
No. No. Next question. That's funny. There's just no need. By the way, I'm not against the reboot like so many people are. I think it's amazing because I know that a lot of like a younger generation is really connecting to it and they're really liking it. So I think, well, you know, it's great that it's doing for a new generation what it did to like the generation that fell in love with it. So I don't have an issue with it. I just don't think it would be like the right vehicle for me to do right now. That's all. And it's a different charm, isn't it? I think like if there's a reboot, the charm that I'm going to be a part of, it's you know, Prue is now like an elder who can, you know, take full form like Leo did and kick some butt again. I think that's what I would do.
Hi. Hi. First of all, thank you for my childhood. I grew up watching Charmed, and not only was Prue a very great role model, but so are you.
Thank you.
And on that note, I have two tiny questions. First of all, in the beginning of the panel, someone asked about your favorite memory, and you thought maybe a souvenir that you took from the set. So I was wondering if you have one of those, that would be awesome. And secondly, how do you pick the charity work that you're involved with? Thank you.
Yeah, good questions. You're welcome. The best souvenir I ever took was this Bulgari watch that Prue wore, and I didn't really take it from the show. It was more of a deal that I had with Bulgari, so I got to wear it on the show. So then that to me meant that I got to wear it in real life.
Sure.
Why not, right? And the charities that I work with, you know, I pick the ones that feel the most authentic, the most honest, and that, you know, tug at my heart. And, you know, there's a lot of huge charities out there, very big, names that we all know that rake in millions and millions and millions and millions a year. And they use those millions a year to send out more, you know, pamphlets to people, or they use it to pay themselves ridiculous salaries, or they use it to euthanize animals, or they use it to, you know, do TV campaign spots, like. And those I very rarely talk about. I find that it's more of the grassroots charities that sort of have the most profound effect. And really it's, you know, it's us, right? It's the people. It's the more that we demand change, the more that, especially if you're talking about animals, for instance, you know, different laws that come into effect. I'm very proud of my home state, you know, banning, first off, Beverly Hills banning the sale of dogs in pet stores unless they are from an animal shelter, but no more dog breeding dogs to be sold there. And also the banning of, you know, fur in Los Angeles is a very huge thing. We're sort of, you know, taking a lot of steps as far as animal welfare goes right now in the US. And a lot of the fashion designers are now saying, yeah, we don't need to use, right? Yeah, we don't need to use fur, we don't need to use, you know, alligator. Hopefully Hermes people will stop thinking that there's something really interesting about an Hermes Birkin bag. It's really not. What's interesting about it is how cool it is, like how they actually make that bag. And it's not that, you know, I'm not a hypocrite. It's not like I've never worn leather. I certainly have. It's not like I've never eaten meat. I have. It's just, do we really need to go as far as we've gone with the cruelty that we bestow upon animals? So I'm very proud because I think that the US is starting to really turn and hopefully continue to lead the charge. And I go to Congress a lot and put up bills, and so I think the charities that I work with are the ones that support, like we sort of have the same vision. Animal Hope and Wellness is one of those, obviously, that I support, and it supports me in everything that I want to do with different bills. There's also the California Wildlife Center that does unbelievable work, just saving animals that nobody picks up. You know, the baby squirrel that's found, you know, the coyote that's left on the side of the street. They got hit by a car. You know, they go out and they deal with all this sort of wildlife and nurture and bring them back to health and release them out into the wild. So there's a bunch of organizations like that, and again, I just pick them based on a lot of research and where my heart tells me to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
I saw you 2 weeks ago in Utrecht.
Yep.
And for me, that was a very changing experience because I grew up watching Charlotte. I grew up watching your acting career. So what I was wondering is, in Charlotte, you also play with a lot of big names and a lot of big actors and bands. So were you ever starstruck and meeting one of the or
I don't think so. Not there. I've been starstruck a lot in my life, but I think you know that was my house. Like Charmed was my spot, and that set was mine. So I think instead of being nervous meeting somebody, it was more like excited that they would even consider being on, you know, our show, or you know, it was like watching, you know, a performance by a band right here, and that was super cool. So I was never really nervous or starstruck. It was just more very appreciative and grateful that some of the people would come on, and I also knew that they were raising the bar of the show. They were making the show better.
Thank you.
Sure. Who was your favorite sort of?
In Charmed?
Yeah, of like guest star, like
yes,
big sort of star name that came on. Who was your favorite?
From the bands, there was one episode where there was a concert of the Cranberries where they started just my imagination, and I thought that was really.
I think I was there. It was very cool. Good choice. Sure. Thank you.
I'm afraid that's all we have time for. So
that's it.
Yeah. Do you have any final word? Rewind. I'm afraid that's all we have time for. Do you have any parting parting words for your
Parting
Belgian
words.
friends?
No, I sure don't. But I do, you know what I do, you guys? I hope that you all can show like a lot of excitement so that I can post on my Instagram what an amazing crowd you all were. Is that cool? Can you guys do that for me? All right, cool. Are we ready?